Gemini's coming at you. Just decided to sit here and record a solo show. I got to thinking about it today, this Memorial Day, that since me and Phoenix can only, get together every couple of weeks, due to our schedules and different things like that, that maybe I would try to do like a little solo kind of half, call it maybe a 0.5 show, maybe call it a half show, call it a whatever show, on the weeks that we can't get together, just to keep everything going on and kind of hitting on things that maybe missed because, we can't get together every week and talk about it, because most podcasts get together weekly and they're able to hit all the news and everything and all the goings on pretty currently. Obviously, we're not, really a news type podcast. We're not a current events podcast. We're more of a, hey, this is on sale and I bought it podcast. So, anyway, I kind of had the idea to try to do that and maybe even see if Phoenix would do a solo show on those weeks also and see what happens. So anyway, now that you know what the hell you're listening to, you probably also now realize that I'm here by myself and you are bored as hell. So I'll try to alleviate that as much as I can. And it's not, we're not going to be sitting here for no hour and a half or anything else. I'm thinking 20 minutes tops. Just to, hit on a couple things maybe that happened around the gaming world, a couple things that I've been doing, things like that. So if it sucks, then you can always let me know, and I will cease and desist at a moment's notice. So anyway, like I said, it's Memorial Day weekend, so I'm sitting here and popping a beer. Oh yeah, and the wife is not here, so I'm just making use of my time. Phoenix and I and KBB, her husband, played some Left 4 Dead earlier. I got a bunch of achievements out of that. She bought that for me for my birthday this weekend, and so they have it from GameFly. I think they're going to end up keeping it, but so we played through the Dead Air campaign, which was pretty fun, and got a shitload of achievements because I used only pistols the whole time and different things like that. We didn't startle the witch. What else did I do? I killed a hunter, or what is the thing that sticks you with his tongue and pulls you in? I killed it. I saved myself from it, so I got that achievement, whatever that one is. So I got 5 of them today and 7 last night. We played till midnight. So it's good times. I kind of feel bad because I hated on that game for so long, and I think it's still semi-justified at the time anyway. I obviously am enjoying it now, but I think that there was just some oversights and different things in the game, like the 2-player split screen as opposed to 4-player split screen, which is one reason why we had to end up with 2 copies of the game in order to play together. Stuff like that, which just seems kind of like a big, F you to the consumer and stuff like that. It's obvious that they could do it. It's not the most graphically intensive game, gorgeous game that seems to me would require it. I mean, as I've said before, I'll say again, if Halo 3 can do it, then there's no reason that games like Gears of War and Left 4 Dead can do it. So, anyway, that being said, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm kind of glad I waited to jump on the whole thing. I don't think it's a $60 game, just because for the simple fact that it is, not a full featured game in my opinion. Anyway, I'm sure I'll say that a few times. By the way, anyway, that being said, I did try the InFamous demo on, I think it was Friday. I downloaded that and tried that out. I think it's awesome. I'm pretty much, I believe the consensus around everywhere is that InFamous is going to be badass. My opinion is that it feels like it's going to be the PlayStation 3's Crackdown. So I'm glad that the PlayStation 3 is finally getting its Crackdown on. And that being said, I kind of worry about Prototype and how that's going to do, because I think it's going to be along the same lines as InFamous is going to be, and I'm wondering how people are going to handle two of the open world, good versus bad type game on the same console, exclusive to the same console, and like within months of each other. So I'm kind of concerned with that, because Prototype does look pretty badass as well. So if I was able to afford it, I'd go pick up InFamous immediately, but I'm not going to do that. I'll wait till we can pick the old InFamous up at a good price. I was actually kind of in the market for a copy of Uncharted. I was thinking about that game here lately, and would love to have and play through Uncharted, especially seeing all the new stuff about Uncharted 2 that's coming out. So, never did play through that. There's so many games for the PlayStation 3 that I've never played through. Or, haven't even bought, because obviously it's kind of tough. I mean, if you think about it, being a 2-console house being a 3-console house was a challenge in itself, and then now that I've gotten rid of the Wii, even being a 2-console house is hard, especially when you don't have a lot of time to do a lot of gaming or anything like that. Time's at a premium. You got to split up your time between things like work and home and the second job, the wife, the baby coming, all that kind of stuff that goes along with it. So, having the time to actually pick up, pick through the back catalog of PS3 games and try to play through them is, a challenge. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background noise. I have the Bourne Ultimatum on, watching that on HD, DVD. So if you can hear it, that's what that is. So anyway, the InFamous demo is pretty badass. I highly recommend it to anyone to check it out, especially if you're a fan of a game like Crackdown. Then I'd definitely check it out. So the powers are really cool. The controls are a little weird at first. I died a lot because I accidentally threw grenades when I was trying to shoot. And I blame that on the PS3 controller more than I blame that on anything else, because I'm used to the Xbox 360 controller. That's how I roll. And the PlayStation 3 controller is one of the worst controllers I've ever had my hands around, honestly. It's not terrible, and I'm sure there are worse ones out there. But I've just never been able. I've never thought it looked good. I've never thought it was that easy to especially with the. I don't understand why developers map like the trigger, but there's the two finger buttons, the trigger on the bottom, and I never know which one is L1 or R1 or what the hell. Aside from the L and R, I never know which one's the trigger and which one's the other, like the bumper. And I don't know why they always map the quote-unquote trigger shooting mechanics to the bumper as opposed to the actual trigger. Because I'm always going to pull the trigger, and I get things that are not shooting, and it's just, I don't know. Damn. I don't know. So, I just don't understand why they do that, and why that's like, the bumper is considered the trigger for, shooting and driving, stuff like that, the acceleration. So anyway, that's just me. But beyond that, what did I do on Saturday? Wow, that seems like it's really loud. On Saturday night I worked, and I checked out a few new podcasts, and I thought I would talk about those for a minute. I checked out the Player One podcast, and I thought it was good. I'm probably going to stick with it, maybe a couple more shows to see if it grows on me. It seemed like there was like 5 people in that show, and it's always a tough thing when there's like 5 people in a show, because everybody's vying for to try to say something, and if one person has a joke and the other person has a joke, and half the time it's the same joke, and then half the time it's not, and you get into the thing where people talk over each other, because of course you're not all in that show, they're not all in the same room, and therefore it just makes it more of a challenge. Not an insurmountable challenge by any means, but just it's a challenge to listen to. I'll definitely say that, just because, number one, as a new listener, you don't know who's who, and then if one person is kind of the quiet one and says something like every every 20 minutes or so, then you're kind of like, who's that? What's that? So, but it was funny. It was enjoyable. I can see, why people like it. I checked out... Oh, shit. Now you're going to make me look at it, aren't you? I checked out... Come here, Last FM. Let's see. I know I checked out Player One. Oh, I listened to the Kevin Smith's podcast, the Smodcast. And I listened to some other podcast, which is at someothercastle.com. And there was a couple of chicks on there. I don't really remember their names, or I would shout them out. But yeah, I think it's at someothercastle.com. And they were pretty good. There were a couple of chicks on there, and they were pretty funny. Kind of talk kind of fast, but I guess that's what chicks do. So, but I would definitely recommend that one. I'm on the fence on Player One, but I definitely would say check out some other podcasts. I always like to. Well, I'll say this: I try to check out like when everybody comes out with a new podcast, but when you got to realize that like everybody in the community has a podcast, is part of a podcast, is starting a podcast, has 60 episodes of a podcast in the can, stuff like that. And when you're somebody that tries to keep up with everybody and everything, and obviously the time constraints and stuff like that. I try to listen to stuff at work, but I also like to listen to music occasionally. And I've really tried to listen to a lot of different stuff. I subscribe and unsubscribe to a lot of things if I hear that it's something that's going to be interesting for me. I don't. There's a lot of shows that I have on my iTunes that I don't actually like regularly listen to, like weekly. But I'm gonna try to expand a little bit, to try to get into some more stuff. Because I'm sure there's a lot of good stuff out there. And that being said, I don't think that. Yeah, it's just kind of funny because you always hear about people say like, "Oh, this show is awesome. It's amazing. It's this. It's that. Oh, there's it's so great." And I know you listen to it and you're like, "Yeah, that's good" or whatever. But it's not like I'm listening to the radio. It's not like DVD or CD quality, high definition, awesome cast or whatever. It's cool. It's just a bunch of people sitting around talking around. That's kind of what I thought about Player One podcast because it's been I've heard that it's just fucking badass, and then it's cool, but it's not anything that I haven't necessarily heard before. It's not of a higher quality than what I'm used to, stuff like that. It just feels like just like any other podcast that I listen to, a bunch of people sitting around shooting the shit, talking about some news, hating on this, hating on that, So, that's kind of, I kind of always feel bad about, like mine and Phoenix's show, because I think, why would people listen to this? We're not as good as some of these other people. And then, then you actually listen to a lot of, other people, and you're like, we're just as good as everybody else, of course. We're really good, actually. I hate to say that because that sounds like I'm a pompous ass, but we've been doing this for a few years, and I think we have a decent. Obviously, we have a good chemistry or a good this or a good that, but I think we're decent enough. But I don't want to sit here and shoot my own horn or whatever the phrase is. Toot my own whatever. So anyway, but I checked out those two podcasts. Seems like I checked out a third one. I don't understand why it's not on here. Hang on, let me see. Recently listened to tracks. It's just like a regular show. So I listened to Kevin Smith. I listened to that. I know I listened to a third one because I tweeted that. By the way, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's twitter.com/GeminiAce. What did I listen to? For the love of God. It was another show. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill myself if I can't remember. Oh well, I don't want to derail everything. Because we've been going so well so far. Distorted View. I love Distorted View daily. But I listened to Adam Carolla. I think that's what it was. I listened to the Adam Carolla show with Def Rat Guy. That was always awesome. I don't really like deaf frat guy. I don't know about you guys, if you listen to Adam Carolla's podcast. Anyway, but yeah, I'm adding, I've added the Player One and some other podcasts, and of course, into my stable of shows that I listen to, like Nobody Likes Onions and The Fanboys and Distorted View and Adam Carolla, stuff like that. So I don't. I'm trying to get up on, trying to help out some of the community people. Give them, it can't hurt to have an extra subscriber, stuff like that. But anyway, of course, if you want to find us, you can find us at theuncannygamers.com and leave me a message and say, "Damn, this show sucked. Why are you sitting here by yourself recording a show?" And then I would say, So, anyway, I guess that's about it. I just wanted to touch on, some new podcasts that you should probably be checking out. And, the InFamous demo, which I thought was pretty sweet. And, I guess that's about it. Next week, of course, me and Phoenix will be back with a regular, hopefully normal episode. And then after that, I'm not sure, because then, hopefully maybe we'll get another one in before the baby comes. I really don't know. I don't have a calendar in front of me to kind of figure that out right now. But hopefully we will. And if not, then we'll, the baby will come, and then you may get another month off from us or whatever. But I may try to squeeze in some single shows, and I may try to twist Phoenix's arm, and maybe she can get her and her husband, to crank out something for y'all to listen to too, so we can keep something in the pipeline. So anyway, that's really about it. I guess I'm going to go ahead and sign off. So this has been, what are we at, 5.5 episode. This has been the first solo episode, whatever we want to call it. And my name is Gemini, and this has been fun. Peace out.